Hey traders from around the world, what's going on? It's me, Jeremy Alexander Newsome with reallifetrading.com. Hope everyone's doing fantastic. It is a early Monday morning. I figured I'd actually do a stock review a little bit earlier than usual, mostly because I have 947,316 things to do today. And I figured I'd just get this one rocked out early. So if you're watching this before the market closes, keep in mind everything is subject to change due to volatility. Very nice gap, obviously, on Friday. We talked about that, we discussed it. A little bit of a potential pullback on SPY, which I am looking at buying. And hopefully the trend overall will, slowly keep creeping higher. Here's the Qs, made a new all-time high today, following through. Most of these charts, ladies and gentlemen, pull up the hourly time frame and look for a good dip buying opportunity. This morning was a monstrously profitable and successful time to be in some of this Apple trade. Oh my goodness. So Apple, let me just show you, here's two screenshots of some traders celebrating their Apple position. You'll notice it just had a very nice gap above the high of Friday, right? A little bit of an upper shadow. Here's the 5 minute, well really, let me show you the hourly chart because here's what I was looking at this morning. So I was trading with my buddy Javier this morning and we were talking about Apple this AM. Had a very nice little pennant pattern and it just barely opened above the high. So it was a very cute gap. Here's the 5 minute chart. If I turn on the pre-market, you'll notice this is the retest right here. So it trade up, pulled back pre-market, and just broke out. So as soon as this thing started breaking out, you'll see my little entry, my little green and red box right there. I got out a little early on this one, but it was 2R in the course of like 8.5 minutes. So could have been like 5.5, 6R, but my October has been going pretty abysmal. So I figured if I could make some profit on this one, might as well lock a little bit in, which we were able to do. Now from here, are you missing Apple? Yeah, I don't think so. So obviously earnings are this week. We'll talk more about it, but it's a new all-time high today. What would be fantastic, of course, if Apple can hang out and trade sideways a little bit coming into earnings. But my overall thought is more than likely we probably gap up and trade down. That's just my guess. We might not gap at all, of course. So if you do have a bunch of options right now that are profitable into Apple earnings, you might want to just consider locking in a gain on those. This is a retest gap today. That was a retest gap 2 days ago. So we could get a little bit of a pennant pattern maybe. Right up here, maybe we try to trade sideways. We don't really gap at all, and then we eventually break higher. But all I can say on Apple right now, gorgeous move, new all-time highs, very nice volume, very nice gap. I like today's upper shadow. We'll probably end with a decent size upper shadow on Apple. This is a good gap, however, and overall, just going to keep an eye on this little rotation to come in. Previous all-time high now is this area, 160, let's just call it 165. So if you're looking at buying a dip off of a previous all-time high, that would be the spot. Here's Netflix, NFLX, and Netflix did make a little bit of a higher high and a higher low today. Nothing too crazy on that one right now. Overall though, this is a retest gap here on the daily chart, white candle gapping up. Here's the hourly chart and you'll notice we are retesting a little bit. So we pulled back earlier today into this, little level right here at about 197. If I zoom out, you'll notice a pretty decent support resistance right about there. So Netflix probably closes just like this is my really guess on Netflix. Did have a request for McDonald's. So here's MCD. Earnings has happened on McDonald's. You got a nice little gap up, a good move Friday, good inside day candle. If you're in McDonald's bullish, my thought, keep holding. Trend looks good. I don't see any massive warning signals right now. And if at any point in time we close above the candle that occurred on the 24th, that's a strong bullish signal. And I know this was one of my 2017 targets on McDonald's, 169.01, but really probably gonna have to end up creeping that one up even higher. NVDA today making a new all-time highs, slightly and just slowly trading into my 215 target, which I probably expect us to hit before earnings. It might not happen exactly, but hitting it before earnings would make a little bit of sense overall. We do have a bearish trade on Philip Morris that we got triggered into yesterday being Friday. So Philip Morris slowly continuing lower. You can see kind of our setup right there on ticker symbol PM. Got a bullish swing trade set up on T-Mobile that hasn't triggered yet. AMBA, got one, see if that's going to break out. hasn't triggered yet. CCL has triggered and might even stop us out today. I'm not even sure. But here's the 100 simple moving average on Carnival. So I'm hoping Carnival acts as a little bit of a bullish support. And then PayPal, still in PayPal, a little bit of lower shadow. Nothing overly exciting on PayPal. Hopefully that one can kind of continue up a little bit more. Speaking of Javier, he's in TJ Maxx bearish. Very nice little gap down this morning right below the low of that wick from Friday. So expect TJ Maxx, for those of you watching this one, to slowly continue lower. Overall, that one looks like a nice little mover as well. A few other stocks to look at. I mean, we got obviously Amazon, previous all-time high right here at 1082. So if you're looking at playing that one, look to buy the dip off of that particular support level. That could be really nice. Google, of course, previous all-time high is here at about 1016. So here's your hourly chart on Google. If I turn off the extended moving averages, here's what we look at. So we did trade down to the 10, had a little bit of a bounce this morning, just didn't make higher highs yet. So Google probably fills this gap a little bit and then ends up eventually going higher, at least would be my thoughts on Google. Now again, a little bit more of an expensive stock, I realize that, but overall looks nice. And then Micron Technology, a few real life traders being really paid off on this one. This is one that we've been playing a few times. So here's your hourly chart on Micron, and just look at that beautiful channel. I mean, that is very, very nice. You got your support, resistance. You can see the channel, all right, of where we're kind of bouncing off on that particular level. And of course, here's the daily chart, and just pulled right into the 20 EMA, which we've never bounced off the 20 EMA before on Micron. So bouncing off of it now is just a really rare and almost unicornical play, but it looks really nice. I like the little move on Micron. For those who are in that one, look for that one to continue higher. Dow Jones ETF, chilling, resting, as it should. IWM, kind of the same thing, a little bit more bearish today, but it'll probably just kind of continue to trade sideways to bullish. Keeping my eyes on a bull put spread on the IWM down here around 144, so feel free to just put that one on your glances as well on the IWM. I think that's about it. Yeah, Square. So Square had a white candle, 2 white candles in a row, gapping up to an all-time high. So today's fade makes a lot of sense. I know my buddy Dean Chance was keeping a really close eye on GM right here today. And here's the weekly chart on GM. So this is also a retest of this previous all-time high. You can see all kinds of retest gaps in here back in September. So we broke out, we're pulling back. For any of my traders who are looking at going long-term bullish on GM, this could be a decent opportunity. Tesla hanging out, 200 simple moving average, acting as a support. That's weird. And we'll see what happens on earnings, which are going to be this week. Fun-filled market out there. Alibaba, beautiful little gap. A few people made $1 over 700 on Baba, bouncing off this really nice support level down there. Earnings around the week. And then Facebook, new all-time high today. Yeah. Buy low, sell high, and Facebook made a new all-time high today with a retest gap. White candle, gapping up. People are locking in profits, and right about here is where I started texting a bunch of people. I was like, hey guys, if you're in some of these tech stocks, we're at all-time highs. You had a bunch of buying on Friday, a little bit of a gap, so some short-term selling probably pulls back. Earnings right around the corner. Gonna be an interesting event. Wednesday, I'm sure, will be jam-packed with a lot of requests. Make sure to get yours in early. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, remember, love life, and trade. Thanks so much for helping us enrich lives. You rock. Bye.